Shannon, how much did this game damage Giannis's legacy here?
Skip, this one hurts. This one might have hurt more than all the rest of them combined. Because, Skip, I get the fact that you say, well, I don't have enough help. You got Chris Middleton, who's an all-star. Not saying he's a superstar, but he is an all-star caliber player. He's been to the last 2 all-star games. You got Holiday, who made first-team all-defense, and he's been an all-star.
Yep.
So you can't use that, I don't have any help anymore. You had a golden opportunity. You had a 17-point lead against Kevin Durant and the Nets, minus Kyrie and a hobbled James Harden. And you couldn't get the deal done.
No.
Skip, I watched this. I got some tape. You know, he said something a couple of years ago about James Harden, and we were just going whoever James Harden was guarding. James Harden showed you last night.
That's funny. He got even on one play.
Watch this. People at home, look what James Harden does. They're about to come down with a double team.
Yep.
Look at James Harden.
Yep.
He waves it off. He said, no.
No, I got this.
Skip, that's a 2-time league MVP. That's a 2-time league MVP, a defensive player of the year. And we know James Harden is not the greatest defender. He waves off a double team against a 2-time league MVP. Say, no, I don't want it.
It was the ultimate humiliation.
Let that sink in for a second, people at home. You think a guy that's not a defender is going to wave off a double team? Skip, we saw Jeremy Grant last year. He wouldn't leave the side of LeBron, and LeBron didn't move. And the guy was like, go. He's like, nope, I'm not leaving this guy. James Harden says no. Skip. Giannis
and by the way, Giannis took advantage of the single coverage by a one-legged man by fading to the baseline and shooting a fall
away. Skip, look, I'm not saying he can't overcome this, because even at LeBron James's lowest, the 2011 final against the Mavs, he's won since. He's won 2 MVPs. He's won 4 championships. So if Giannis, but Skip, until he wins that, this is on his resume. Giannis, Skip, and so many times I've heard Giannis say this, I'm just doing what my coach asked me to do. Giannis, you're defensive player of the year. Kevin Durant has it going. Accept the challenge. Skip, I don't want to hear from this is what he said after the game. This is what the defensive player of the year a year ago said. He said, Kevin Durant is the best player in the world, and I hope he misses. If I'm Chris Middleton, if I'm True Holiday, if I'm Tuck, I pull him to the side. I said, look at him, Mo. You know what? If you ever say that again, we're going to fight. You the defensive player of the year, and you talk about he the best player. Skip, I don't mind you giving somebody kudos if I'm not playing against you, if I'm not in the heat of the moment.
Yeah.
Skip, if I'm in a fight, how we in a fight? And you like, man, he really tough, Sharpe. Man, that's a tough joker. Man, he gets some good blows in on you. Bro, you better shut up and help me fight.
Yep.
Giannis, what is this? What is this? You go to Budenholzer and says, I got KD the last 5 minutes. That's what you do. Don't hide on that. I'm just doing what the coach asked me to do. I bet you Budenholzer ain't telling you to jack up them threes. You jacking up them threes. He ain't telling you to shoot no threes. You tell me shooting threes. And he fumbled that ball, Skip. You know why he fumbled that ball? Because he thought they was going to foul him. He was trying to do something quick. He was trying to get the ball up quick before they foul him. He don't want no parts of the free throw line. And that's the reason. Now, you want to say LeBron is running from the free throw line, but Skip, LeBron wasn't running from no free throw line at 27, at 28. LeBron was going to the rack. This kid is 27, 28 years of age, and he's afraid to take advantage of a 6'11 frame when he's got James Harden, when he's got Jeff Green, when he's got Joe Harris, and he's shooting jumpers. Bro, you're going to have to win a championship in order to get some of this bitterness. And it's going to have to be more than one. Because, Skip, LeBron has won 4 championships since 2011, and that taste still lingers. People still bring that up.
Yep.
Giannis, you can't go out like, if you lose this, you ain't getting over this, bro. It's going to take a while. You're going to have to win multiple championships before you get this taste out of your mouth after what you did yesterday.
Times 10, I agree with everything you just said. But I also agree that he got one big break last night that wasn't a closeout game. He gets a shot at redemption.
Right. Yes.
He's got a game 6, and maybe he's got a game 7 back at Brooklyn.
Well, you're right, Skip. Maybe if they win the series, we'll forget about this.
And I'm going to preface everything I say by once again saying everybody attests to the fact, our man Chris Broussard, they love Giannis because he's a great young man.
Yes.
He's great for the game. He's fun to talk to. He's very accessible to the media. Got it.
Right.
But I don't get him as a basketball player because he ain't that guy.
Yeah, he'd be totally different.
He's not what I call a superstar because he doesn't have superstar intangibles. There's no killer in him, no killer will, no step on your throat. He's not sure of himself, and he's never been sure of himself under the brightest spotlight. Mm-hmm. When the heat is the hottest, he starts to melt right before your very eyes. He doesn't trust himself. It's why he took the Supermax to stay big fish, small market. And he's happy there, and they love him there, and God bless them all. But this is what you're going to get. You're going to be stuck with this because I've given you the history, and I don't want to go through the litany again, but he's had every year in the playoffs, he'll have a big round and a flame-out round.
Yes.
Big and flame-out. When he thinks he's got the advantage over some Orlando in the first round, look out because he'll put up those numbers that he always puts up. So you realize yesterday, All-NBA was announced, and only one player in this league got all 100 votes for first team. That guy. Giannis got every single vote. He was the only one unanimous first teamer. Mm-hmm. We know that he's been multiple times MVP. We know he's been, as you point out, Defensive Player of the Year. We know he has led PER, player efficiency rating, year after year.
Isn't he the only player that made first team on both All-NBA first team offense and defense?
Yeah, okay.
He's the only one.
We got it all. None of it matters because that's all about the regular season.
Yes.
That has absolutely zero to do with what you didn't see last night, which was he just shrinks and disappears. I agree with the video you showed. James just wanted to do it back to him. To stay away.
Yes.
I got this guy because they have no respect for him. In the clutch.
Yes.
They know what's going to happen. He's going to fade away, literally fade to the baseline, and he's going to miss it. And then we get to the last play. It's 15.6 seconds left. He has a dunk, and Middleton hits him right in the hands.
This is James Harden. Oh, stay.
Yeah, stay over there. That's Landry Shamet he waved off. Wow. Okay, here we go. Middleton goes in the middle, and he just feeds him, and he's got it. This is a dunk. This is just a little dunk. You can just go right up and dunk it. But
he knows what's going to happen.
You could be right. It could be, I got to go to the free throw line and go through my 15-second routine of agony, because it's just agony watching him. You know, he's rehearsing, and then he's talking to himself. And actually, last night, he wasn't that bad. What was he, like 4-7? I don't know. If by his standards, that was money, right?
Yeah, that was still Curry, for him.
But I know who I've been betting on if he had to go to the line with 15 seconds left.
Oh, he ain't making
he's not. He might make one, but I doubt he could make either one of those. And yet, there's also just something missing in his makeup, his basketball makeup. He just muffed the pass. It's like the guy in your sport. There are certain guys, you throw it to them on 3rd and 5 with the game on the line, and they just drop it because they just panic. They go blind, you know. He went blind on that play, and the ball goes right through his hands.
Yeah, can you imagine in a situation like this, it's like Deion Sanders, Defensive Player of the Year, and in the 3rd quarter, 4th quarter, money on the line, he ain't guarding Michael Irving? He ain't guarding Jerry Rice? Well, the coaches called for asking me to, so I'm no! You that dog. You know who they going to. I got it. Y'all rotate the coverage to the other side. I got him. That's the way you do it, Giannis. Skip, we've seen LeBron.
I'll give you a quick example of that. It would be the 1994 NFC Championship game at Candlestick Park. Greatest one-on-one matchup I ever saw. It's the one I would have paid a lot of money to sit in the first row to watch. I was sitting in the press box to watch this one, but it was San Francisco jumping up on Dallas 21-0. So it was just like last night. It looked like it was going to be a blowout. And Deion said, I know what they got to do. They have to throw it to 88 every time. And Troy Aikman was not a high-volume passer until then. And he had to throw it to 88 nearly every play from there on. So we had 3 quarters of Deion versus Michael. Best friends in the world. It's one-on-one. Who's going to win?
That's it.
And in the end, Deion won because he got away with a call, a little armbar call. But the point was, He just said, I'm traveling. Wherever he goes, I'm just going to go with him.
With Jerry.
Yeah.
Deion travel. Like, hey, I know that's Jerry Rice.
I got it.
I'm not ducking that.
I got it.
Giannis, you can't duck KD.
Duck. No, but he just does. He's got duck in him. He just, there's something huge missing in his psychological basketball makeup.
It is.
That makes him turn into only a star in the postseason without the super in front of the name. He's got the super max. He's got all the accolades you could ever want in the regular season. He's like, you know, we're beyond first ballot Hall of Famer. If you just go on his regular season accolades,
he all in the Hall. Yeah,
I mean, he's starting to get into top 10, top 5 discussion, right?
When he's done his numbers, I mean, he's a Hall of Fame. He don't play another game. He's a Hall of Famer. With 2 MVPs, a Defensive Player of the Year, he's there with all the All-NBA teams he's made. He's already there, Skip. But there's something to be said. A guy that's 6'11", that he won't post up a 6'6" guy.
No.
He shoots a fadeaway. He has Jeff Green on him. They first of all, the mere fact that they got a guy that hadn't played.
Jeff Green?
James Harden was on one leg.
Yeah. But think about Jeff Green. He's 34. It seems like he's 44, but he's on his 11th team. And in the fourth quarter, much of the time, he was in single coverage on Giannis.
And guess what he plays? He said, I know you're trying to come to the basket. I'm just going to let you run over me. He picked up 3 offensive fouls because he doesn't have anything else, Skip.
It's your sensibility. Do you understand what needs to get done? What's your basketball IQ? I think it's pretty low. I think he has no idea how to get it done with what he has to work with.
He gets the ball, Skip. Okay, he backs it out. He's going to try to go. Okay, oh, you're trying to go to the hole. Okay, I'm going to get right here. I'm going to play you for the crossover Euro. And when you got the ball in your right hand, you're going to step to the left. I'm just going to slide, and you're going to hit me in the chest, and they're going to go the other way.
Okay, so in the end, stars win playoff games.
Yes.
This star had a 17-point lead mid-third quarter, and he couldn't hold it because it's on his head.
Yes.
You can put it on the coach's head if you want to.
Oh, yeah, Skip. If they don't win this series,
I think
I don't see how he comes back.
I agree.
I don't recommend. Look, I don't do that. I don't call for people's job, even though people they call for my job all the time. But I'm good. But Skip, I don't know how 3 years in a row going out like goats. Because last year was unacceptable, Skip. Because even before Giannis hurt his ankle, they were getting outplayed by the Heat.
Pathetic.
Yes, and then you lose 4 straight to Toronto. At the time, they were still the baby dinosaur.
They were. I agree.
But Giannis, you can't let KD. KD is great, but you got to say, I got to try to stop something.
Okay. Well, he's got one shot at redemption.
Felt like it got to him. Yeah, and you got to get it done in the playoffs. That's when it matters.
Thank you for watching. You can subscribe here to get the latest from the show, and be sure to check out more of the best clips from Undisputed, or go watch a few other segments from our other shows on FS1.